it was just so much fun to spend those kind of concentrated days with you at off. Um, you know, have an old friend, somebody you can pick their brain, somebody that you can complain about things are going or whatever. So super great.
It was
But
quality
yeah, yeah.
time for sure.
But also kind of reminded me of like, there's a lot of complaints and a lot of just hustle nowadays about, we'll call it sales. Sales is a bad word with the next year. She's going to tell you that in a second. But like there's just a lot of like charlatans out there, just like goofy people selling you AI platforms or mailing lists or lead generators, put a date in here and I'll magically give you the person you're supposed to call and somehow that's going to generate, a project for you. And it's just a bunch of BS. It's just like a card trick to get people in and making promises. There might be some legitimate piece to it where they're putting in infrastructure, but what you and I really know when it comes to the business development world is it's person to person all the time. And so with today's topic, I kind of just wanted to bring you on because you're such a people person and those relationships mean a lot to you and decades of making those relationships make all the difference.
The Manny is here.
Yeah, right. But that's kind of the key, right? Like if we establish that business development is a relationship process, um, as at its core, and then something you maintain, then other advice and other things we're going to talk about in a little bit are going to make a lot of difference. But if you think you're all about building a campaign, a one weekend newsletter campaign, you're never going to understand how these pieces go together.
I mean, the touch points are important. It's a mix of all those things, but it's not a you do it once and you're done.
Yeah.
It's a commitment to business development. And I don't use the word sales because to me it sounds very transactional. And we're not selling products off, the shelf. We are, and you can't sell trust. You develop trust, and that's where everything is based on, at least in our industry. So that's important to me. There's two words that I avoid, and and Michelle knows this. One is vendor. You'll never hear me use that word. I detest it. We're not vending machines. We bring beauty and incredible solutions to the world, to people that need it. Advertising and marketing is not going to go away. So we are the experts. And then the other word is sales. Like, though, yeah, sales is part of it, but it's not the process that we go through, especially on the creative side. If you sell pillows, then you're okay. You sales, but we don't sell pillows. We sell imagination, creativity, solutions that come with a lot of thinking.
You said earlier this process is a live commitment. Like it's not something you can just passively do. You also use the word commitment, where it's something that you have to be dedicated to and understand it, but it's not something that's easy. So a lot of businesses are kind of smaller and they don't have a person dedicated to doing it. But you've been talking for years and working with small businesses all the time, just with the understanding of like you don't have to like get a herd of elephants to get this thing going. It's really more of a method and a process to make it realistic.
I mean, typically, if we can look at some of the studios that start small, and it's usually because there's a creative director or someone with a vision that also already has some sort of contacts in the industry. So they're like, okay, I'm going to go into business for myself. And then they start getting work because of word of mouth, but then word of mouth is not a strategy, a growth strategy, because it has its limits, right?
Yeah.
And it is great when people refer you. We want that, of course. But if you want to keep growing your business, you really have to have a system and you have to have a process to keep growing and keep opening new doors, looking at what's, like right now, things are changing. It's not that it's more difficult or there's no jobs, no work. It's just that it's different. Is different. If you hear what happened in Cannes just now, more than 4,000 influencers showed up this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Money is going somewhere, and there's more money in circulation today than ever before in the history of the planet. So the money's out there,
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
what I.
it's so funny because the sometimes I feel like we just get in our own head and we're thinking somebody else is doing it better, somebody else has it figured out. They must have known some trick. And you're almost like, no, we're actually all in the same boat. It's all the same process. It's the same work. And it's really just all the same when I say the word relevance. Like you have to do something that's relevant to another party, and then that party will engage you. And you might be doing something that's good. You might be even doing something that's beautiful, but if it's not going to help anybody solve a problem or convert, um, deliver the needs that that person needs to accomplish, it really you are just a vendor. You might as well just call yourself a vendor and be commoditized. But if you're gonna get, I know, but if we want to get people out of that thinking, we have to push past that to, hey, there is another person on the other end of this conversation and they have real needs. Have you even tried to understand what those needs are?
Yeah, I have a framework that I love that is vision, visibility, and velocity. Those three V's to me are super important. So you can be the most amazing artist in the world, and you know this. You can do like beautiful work, but if no one knows who you are, or if no one's seen your work, or no one knows how you get to that result, going back to visibility, showing people how you work. Um, it's almost impossible to grow.
Yeah. And velocity meaning the timing at which you have to hit things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Don't wait. When that idea hits you when you're taking a shower,
Yeah.
it happens to all of us, right? Usually when we're resting, we get hit by these ideas from the
It's the
matrix.
worst. If I could just have a waterproof device, because that the best things come when the most inconvenient times.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let me dive into this topic here, because what I know a lot of people are facing, or at least telling me, is, hey, it's summer and it's slow. That's they put that they and then to me it's like, is it correlation or causation? You know, that problem, like, is it really one thing? Is it really the other? But a lot of people experience a slow season. But
Mhm.
on the other hand, I work with a lot of studios that are actually very busy right now. The ones that are busy, what I believe they recognize is that a shift that happens in the summertime. The type of work needed to accomplish in summertime is not the same that you would get hit up in Q1 or Q3 or something like that. Um, you've done this for enough years now. You've seen similar patterns, and you kind of know what that summer slump is about. When you think about what the seasonal challenges are and how to work through them, where do you start? Maybe how soon do you start? When do you start solving summer problems? Do you have to start in Q1?
Those summer problems, there's nothing new about that. Like like Manny and I go way back the 90s. It was the same thing. It should not surprise us. So why can't we plan ahead? Why? And the other thing that happens is that a lot of studios and folks in our industry go by memory or by gut feeling, and they're not tracking the data at all. And you have so much power and so much richness in the data if you collect the data correctly, that you are able to see ahead 3, 4 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
So what I've experienced in my industry, in this industry, and you guys tell me if you've experienced the same thing, is that there are these 3 to 4 months ups and downs. And I can tell because almost every studio goes through this because they get busy, they start focusing on production, and then towards the end they're like, oh my god, we don't have any business in the pipeline, we got to start all over again. And that should not happen. Instead, we should keep the, what is the expression, the pedal on the metal
Yeah, right. Pedal to the metal. Yes.
all year round when
Yeah.
it comes to business development, developing relationships, keeping the outreach, keeping people engaged. And there's so many great ways to do that nowadays. When I started in this industry, and many of you may relate to this, we had the Rolodex, we had the Yellow Pages. I remember going to a conference in New York
Yeah.
first time, and I remember don't tell anyone, stealing the yellow pages with the list of agencies in New York. Like I remember doing this, and
Seriously.
then taking that list with me. I
Yeah.
remember getting these trade magazines where they had in the back, money, you remember these in the back? They had the people drinking, like having a good time. I'll cut out those photos and put them on my wall. That was my first Facebook. I
Oh,
put them
that's hilarious.
I'm gonna meet this person, and this person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So going back to the point that, yeah, what was the point? That yes, we gotta.
Well, I think you might have just lost Ollie on Yellow Pages because he was born in the 2000s. So Ollie, just so you know, there was a book that had people's names in it. You didn't find it on the internet, and that might be not just.
And if you needed to be taller at the dinner table, you sat on that book.
Yeah, exactly.
But wait, the last Yellow Pages, because I did this research, was published in 2019.
No way, really? That's
Yes,
crazy. Do you
yes.
remember? Do you remember LA 411? That was like the thing we all had. Yeah, Michelle, like that big bound thing. And you just drag that stupid ass book with you everywhere. That's the only place you could find anybody in the industry. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh, okay. So I totally agree with you. Systematizing, right? So don't depend on your own nature. Don't depend on how you feel. Don't have a short-term memory. Data is actually really, really great. And often when people come to me in a slow season, I say, well, go back to what you did last year at this time and who were those clients, and please go call them again. Can you just go call them again? And it's often just like gives us a quick reminder of like, oh yeah, I actually haven't touched base with them. And then in the summer, I find it's
Yeah.
a very unique, it's a different clientele for the summer because in the spring and in the fall, you're building campaigns. So you're starting the campaign process. You might be working towards a Christmas campaign or something like that. In the summer, you refresh a campaign. Oh,
Mhm.
I released something in March. It's now summertime. I have to pick up the pieces, do a re-edit, do a refresh, change some graphics, and those are very busy moments that people are often forget even exists. I think in-house agencies might handle a lot of that work or are expected to handle a lot of that work, but the people I know that are busy, literally it feels like work comes out of nowhere. Hey, here's $75,000. Can you do something in 3 weeks? We just need to refresh our campaign. And then boom, all this money comes out of what they feel like comes out of nowhere. But what they have is relationships with people that relationship knows I can call you because you're the team I work with to do these refreshes. So to know that you're hitting a different market is so important when you're looking at a summertime slump.
So the other thing that studios that do it well do is that they may start working with one vertical, right? They're working with ad agencies, but then they expand to entertainment marketing and they start working with networks. And then they discover that the networks are not the ones that give the work out for main titles. For example, you have to connect with the showrunners. And guess what? Now TV shows is not like it used to be that they only dropped, what was
Oh yeah.
it?
In the fall. Yeah. Fall
Oh,
and yeah, fall and spring. Yeah.
shows dropping, shows and movies dropping every day. So that vertical doesn't have a calendar. So it's up to us, depending on what you're focusing on, it's up to us to keep track of those type of opportunities. So when a show or a TV or a movie is in post-production, they're going to start looking for the title, if that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
And so diversifying the verticals, not spreading too thin, but diversifying the verticals with the skills that you already have is also a very smart move.
Well, it's funny because um I almost would say be careful when you decide to jump verticals, right? It's not like let's say you're having a slow season. Let's say the summer shift is happening, right? And I'm slow because the kind of work my current clients I work with, they have a different need than starting a campaign, again, like doing updates. Where I find that a lot of studio owners throw themselves off course is they say, in their mind, they're saying, "Oh shoot, all my clients are now dead. I better jump verticals and start an editorial company that's doing movie trailers because that seems like that could keep me busy." And they've totally lose focus on who they actually are. instead of that progression of saying, oh, that those gains of verticals are very important. And if you can think of, like you're saying, the vision part of it, right? So if you have an understanding of where you want to go, then you can slowly move your way there and start recognizing different seasons at different times. Oh, this is great. I can do work in different seasons and supplement the kind of work that I do. But again, you have to be diligent and know that that outreach is necessary and find those leads sooner than later when you're doing that kind of a pivot.
And not only different verticals now, is global reach. Like there are no limitations for who we can work with if they're in the system, right? It could be in Europe, it could be in South America, it could be, everyone, people have projects all over the world. But going back to the verticals, waiting to the last minute to decide that now I want to do titles, that's not a strategy. Again, it's desperation. So taking the summer to support the clients, like you said, is a great time, but it's also a great moment to think about how you're going to approach the rest of the year and the beginning of next year. Don't wait until December to plan 2027.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start thinking now. I know things change rapidly, but start thinking now and get the team engaged.
The What kind of outreach are you doing right now? So if someone were to call you and approach you with the problem, like, hey, I'm kind of slow. I don't see anything really in my pipeline for the next 6 weeks. Where should I start? Um, Today, like in July, where would you say, well, you would say it's too late. Sorry for July. But where would you say to start?
That happened to us many, many times at Imaginary Forces, but the one that I remember the most is 2009, where we
Yeah.
had a ton of big projects in the pipeline and they were all canceled in
Wow.
January because of what happened, right?
Yeah.
And so what do you do? So you reach out to the low-hanging fruit. You've heard this expression many times, and you reach out to the people that you trust and trust you to, hey, we're in this dilemma right now. Can you help us? What do you have? The end of the year, also, a lot of brands, and you know this, still have a lot of budget left for the year that they have to spend.
Yeah.
Make a note of that to start checking in with these clients in October. Don't wait until December, September, October. And so there's so many things that we know because we've been in the industry for so long. But again, we leave it to memory and to gut feeling. And then we take this reactive approach and
Yeah.
instead of a proactive approach. And that's what I try to tell my clients over and over again. This is a long game, but you have to be ahead of what's coming. It's if you're a producer, that's your job. As a producer, you're supposed to see ahead of, avoid all those problems that are coming ahead of you. And if you have experience, that's what we do really well.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
young,
supposed to. Yeah.
young producers have a hard time because they can't see really far ahead. So it's like I'm saying hire older producers.
Sorry, Ollie. You're not going to qualify for that either.
Uh, oh, you're an old young person.
Yeah. We're just picking on Ollie today. No, there's something interesting I get to see because I'm a numbers person also, is that, and a lot of people don't calculate this, but there's a lot of corporations, brands, and agencies that have chosen June to be the end of their fiscal year and not December. And
Yeah.
we're used to the personal schedule, where like the end of the year for us is December, but an end of fiscal year for a corporation changes their buying behavior.
Mhm.
Some can be they're offloading cash,
Mhm.
and you'll get deals. I have clients that get these deals all the time. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you $400,000 right now, and then I'm going to call you, in July and August to use that money, but I have to get it off my books right now and make it look like it's spent. And because we're not at the end of our fiscal year as a corporation, we can take that in and not have to capture it as profit if you're on a cash basis and those kind of issues. So that can happen one way. On the other, they can say, I don't have the money right now. My money that won't be good until July. So, but they still have work that needs to be done. So we feel like the clients are ditching us and they're saying they're not calling you because they have no money they can give you. Come July 1, they're going to start calling you again, or July 5th in this case. They're gonna start calling you again and saying, "Hey, I have work now because I have a new budget. I have a new year, a new budget, and new things to do." So if you have that trusted relationship, that's somebody you can know and start getting that information about, and then start planning your own seasons and kind of reduce some panic because you know your client, you know what their fiscal year is, and you can kind of play the cards that way.
It's our main concern should be, okay, who's our most trusted? Is who's going to take care of us? We'll take care of them, always over deliver. Who's that person or two people or five people, five accounts that are always trusting us with that sort of decision, you know? I would have a really hard time giving someone $500,000 and then disappearing. So it has to be a really
Yeah,
trust
that's right.
person or partner, or put the money in a special account, right? And so definitely the trust factor is like, what can we do today to earn the trust of this client we're working with today? Like I've worked on projects. I was remembering this earlier when I was prepping for the call that I had a client that we had three projects back to back that they were promised to us. We didn't have to pitch, but I don't believe in that either, because even when you're single bid, you still have to sell your concepts. You still have to pitch.
Yeah.
So the team was assigned. It was a multi-million dollar engagement. Mind you, I worked on commission, so I was like excited, and it's one of my dear clients, and it's a big tech company. By the second round of work that we had to deliver, the client was already telling me, we're not feeling this. They're not taking care of us. This is not happening.
Oh no.
We were looking at milestones, not deliverables. And then by the third round, which was the last round, they said, we're not coming back.
Wow.
And so no one's worrying about the clients they have here now. They're like always, some people always fishing, always looking outside when we should be looking within, and being super critical, like and having internal meetings to see where we are, because internal sabotage is real, especially when you have bigger teams. And
Yeah,
I found out that for sure, the team that was assigned to this client was pulled in to do other things,
sure. Yeah.
and the client saw it. So I'm
Yeah,
just
that's a good reminder. I think what people throw out terms and they might become meaningless because they always seem like they're interchangeable, but something like account management, that's exactly what that term means. Whereas you've actually landed an account, that account begins with $100,000 project or something like that. But the customer lifetime value is what account management says is like, actually, you've landed this client. I don't have to do any new work to retain the client. I just have to stay on top of it. But we can absolutely lose focus. We can change priorities, and you almost need to have somebody at advocating for those clients internally.
100%.
Anybody. And as a business owner, if you ask the wrong questions, you'll get the wrong behavior. So if all you're asking your team is, who did you meet that's new all the time? You're basically telling your team, we don't care about our current clients. Only
Mm,
new things matter.
that
And that
is
is some of the worst questions you can ask. It's not, that's a really, really bad way to kind of think of yourself in growing and creating stability for your business. So
your
that's a
next $1
key element.
million client or business opportunities already in your database.
Yeah. Okay. So you said this earlier, but I want to actually ask you this question directly. I mean, you've used the word trust for the last half hour. Easily, you probably use it 75 times a day when you say it. When you say the word trust, how do I actually develop trust with my client? What do I have to deliver, or how do I set myself up to be trustworthy or to have a relationship of trust between myself and one of my clients?
Listen.
Listening is good. Listening is one factor.
Wait, who said that, by the way? Did you have,
And
it's like another voice in your head speaking out of there. Yeah. So
definitely
listening, yes.
listening. Yeah.
You really have to listen. You have to really listen and, talk less and listen more. And
Yeah.
you'll and let the space, don't feel you have to fill in the space. you'll hear a lot of stuff in that space that
Yeah.
you ordinarily wouldn't pick up. Sorry, I had to chime
You're
in.
good. Andrea knows the answer.
100%. You've done all the different, roles, executive producer, you bring it. You bring the knowledge and that expertise. I would say, be true to your word. You saying you're going to do this and deliver this by this time, you do it. You said we're going to figure out the budget, you figure it out. You don't do, this is another, okay, I'm going to give
Yeah.
you
Preach
real
it, girl.
a
Here
real
it comes.
example. We were given, I'm not going to say who, we were giving an incredible opportunity by an international client. They came to us and said, we're going to pay you to come up with a creative. And once the creative is done and approved, you're going to produce it. We have $1 million. Okay. We're coming up with a creative. We are. So
Yeah.
don't give me a $2 million idea.
Right. Yeah. We can control all of it. Yes.
My goodness. This happened. They
But how
fell
do
in.
you feel about it, Danixa? We can't
Oh
tell
my
on your face.
Well, again, remember when I worked on commission for many years, so this hit me hard,
Yeah, sure.
my family, my so the pitch comes, they delivered it was beautiful. And then we couldn't figure out the production. We couldn't for the budget. They told us the budget, damn it. Why can't we figure it out? There's got to be a way. No. We lost the job.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Not pitching, single bid, paid for the creative. The client ended up going to director in Europe, and he figured it out. And guess what? He
Yeah.
did the next 3 campaigns.
Of course he did. Yes. Yeah.
Talk about short-minded.
I
went,
know we dig our own graves, don't we? There's something in this process that we make it more difficult for ourselves. And as Andrea said, when we listen and we understand and we're part of that process with a trusted client and become a trusted person for them, then the communication opens up and other new ways and new understandings can pop up.
Trust is something, and we know we have friends here on this call. Trust is something we build on, that we grow into, not something that you sell. You develop, you deliver, you over deliver. Unfortunately, in our industry, we always have to over deliver. Always, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but do we have to really do that? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Because the way you end a job can really change the whole relationship. You can be dedicated a whole year to a campaign, to a rebrand, whatever it is, and do an incredible job. And then at the end, you mess it up. And guess what? That's what they remember.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Days when we had tapes, like if you screwed up the tape thing part, it's like,
Yeah, the delivery. If you can't deliver, literally doesn't matter.
The labels, get the labels right, damn it.
Oh no. Yeah. I remember trying to get negative to the lab on time to get it processed. I mean, there were real deadlines back in the day. No, I think that
I just want to say one more thing. People commit to do something, maybe for the wrong reasons, and then they don't want to, or the team doesn't want to, or if there's misalignment, there is sabotage, and you're gonna lose that client, and that client is gonna go places. And
yes,
guess
that's
what?
right. That's right.
Yeah. Spread
And
the
it's totally your responsibility as the owner to see that and foresee that. Sometimes it's very stressful. Sometimes we just don't want to put ourselves out there. All those details can bog us down. We're supposed to be delivering the creative and we have to deal with that mess. And I totally get it. It's great to have a trusted team that can do the work, complement you. But when there's a warning sign that pops up, you have to go engage that warning sign sooner than later because that's what people remember how you reacted to the problem. The problems are literally what we solve all the time. So of course there's problems. That's what we're being paid to do, is solve them. But if we don't handle them and we let them get out of control, that's where we haven't met the needs from our clients. Yeah. There's another part too, like if you're right here in this moment, so like a July kind of opportunity and engagement that we have, our clients that are, our clients right now are looking for a different type of partner for the next month and a half or two.
Mhm.
And when you show up and open your doors and understand what their needs are right now, you can develop a long-term relationship with them because you're showing up when they need you, not just when they have a pile of cash and big projects. So that follow through to say, hey, I know I did this $150,000 campaign and there's a $15,000 pickup. To recognize that ahead of time, as you're saying, like you can see the patterns, these opportunities are coming, and you'd usually say no to that, like that's way too small of a project. But you have a trusted relationship with a client, that you're not going to be taken advantage of, and you'll have another 9 months worth of work if you just help them during the summertime and keep things going. That's a good balance to that relationship. And in business development and account management, that's what you're actually doing. You're weighing your relationship currency to real hardcore dollars and trying to play things back and forth. Yeah.
Bill, that's funny.
Can can I talk something you said do you
Yes.
mind if I chime in here?
You go for it. I'm gonna take off our spotlight so you can jump right in.
So something Danixa said about, where there are opportunities. So there was a time when I was representing, and I was working on a very small retainer, commission only, a main title, amazing motion designer, Emmy Award winning motion main title designer who did great work, but a lot of people didn't know of him. And that time in the summer when the production slate came out and I would find the list. Now it's so easy. You can just ask ChatGPT. And with the production, with shows launching new all the time, you're not limited to. I mean, I would be like in June, I would be like, I would be like hitting it hard with it's the associate producers, by the way,
Always, by the way. Yeah. And
of
production managers, not the
the
directors.
associate producers on the show that are making the meetings with the people who coming in and doing the show packages or the main titles. Now the budgets aren't huge, but it's happening now all year long.
Yeah.
So if I were doing business development again in this realm, I would go into ChatGPT or whatever AI and get the production slate for the next 3 months of everything that's in production and hit those, get in touch with those associate producers.
Yeah.
They'll take they take the meetings, they take them.
It's a whole list that exists, a whole membership that you can get with everything that's in development, for streamers to movies to studios.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean I couldn't believe, I mean, it took total dedication and it paid off. If I
Yeah.
tell you the shows that we did, Grey's Anatomy, Law, I mean, this was okay, I'm dating myself, I'm old.
We're all good.
But they were all major shows. But it's great. You got Netflix now and Prime, and you've got all these shows launching all the time.
Yeah.
And not to, yeah, and there's still the network shows that do still come on in September and October. There still are.
I wanted to say hi to Bernie and Martin. Martin from Argentina.
Oh, fun.
Yes, yes.
Hey,
Hi,
Martin,
how
this
are
is
you?
a good moment to plug the Spanish confabs. Did you guys did it this morning, yesterday morning? When is it?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
plug it.
amazing.
This is when you say it. A plug is when you promote it. Tell us it.
Yes,
You got 10
yes.
seconds.
Well, we are doing the Spanish confab, which has been amazing. We are like reading the book, Never Split the Difference,
Oh yeah.
for Chris Voss,
Yes.
and it has been amazing, like really, really interesting. Well, I have my youngest son here, which is yes.
Future of the industry.
Yeah, I hope so. Like both of them, the older and the youngest is pretty much like artistic. So, well, I mean, it's the first confab in Spanish in RedThink, and it has been a huge success. And all of the conversations there, because of our, distance from the main markets
Yeah.
has been really interesting because all of the experiences have been really different and always like we are like kind of the underdogs. And when you get there, like you have a lot of value that I mean is really well taken in all these places.
Yeah.
More than we know because it's just like our position.
Well,
That
I'll say this too, like when you guys approach me about it, it's really great because for a lot of people, they're interested in how to get into the US marketplace. So they call it Danixa, they ask questions, they kind of make things, but also recognize that you're not in the marketplace, and to collaborate with others that have the same challenge has been really great for you guys to not just have to listen to Americans talking about how easy it is to go have a coffee with a friend down the street. And I think it was you or Igor that said that's a $4,000 coffee for me to go down the street and go to Culver City. So like it's a very different process to get there. So yeah, thanks for pulling that together, Martin. We appreciate you guys. And
amazing, of
Danixa,
course.
yeah.
It's open for every Spanish speaker that wants to join. It's open.
Well, you're welcome to join if you don't speak Spanish, but you might not understand what they're saying as they
Yeah, exactly.
have a conversation about the book. So yeah,
Martin, I hope to see you with Bernie. She's
yeah,
in Buenos
thank you.
Aires. En Buenos Aires.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm in Buenos Aires as well. Been working with Danixa for a year already. And I met Tim down in Barcelona this year.
We
That was
did.
so fun. We
was fun.
did. We had a lot of wine and had a lot of fun. And just about me, I ran a design studio. We focus on websites. And we're learning how we can adapt to this new AI world. We are pretty savvy about it, and we want to see what else we can offer to the creative community, mostly about enhancing pipelines. And well, it's actually really hard right now because everybody's doing their own websites with Claude. Everybody thinks they can do that, but they are arriving to the conclusion that everything looks the same and there's no real value behind it, but we need to let people arrive to those conclusions before they come to us again. So this conversation was actually great because, well, that's actually happening to us. So
Yeah. It is interesting, isn't it? The term I've used, I'm going to throw this out there because I'm going to see if we can get this term to stay, but the term I've heard is pizza. Just like, spam means a bad email. Pizza as a food product is something that's custom built for you, but also consumed. And we're kind of used to software as a service where you would rent software over and over and over again, but now people are building software things through these chatbots. Like you can just build a program just for the weekend or make a video game for the weekend. Like, okay, I used it, throw it away, make another one tomorrow. And that's like the pizza kind of metaphor works out. But what you find is like, sure, you can make it and enjoy it for a short period of time, but the long-term value, the long-term purpose is still missing. So it's a really interesting marketplace that's experimenting with that. Yeah.
I loved the term. I will bring it to the team and see if we can
I
push
think it's a
it.
great term. Yeah. I wish I didn't make it up, but I'm definitely promoting it because it makes a lot of sense of what that means. Yeah.
It does. It's like fast food for products. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just as unhealthy for you too. Danixa, thank you so much for kind of being my guest today and always being a promoter of this industry, the people that are out there. Um, Truly, you're just a gem and so much knowledge. So thank you for bringing it today. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. I'm starting to share more and more online. Those who know me know I'm not shy, but when it comes to social media, I'm like, but this is a call, so I feel
Yeah,
comfortable, but I'm doing more of this. So,
we'll chop this up for you can post it on your Instagram so you have a video to play using it too.
oh God.
Hey, for those of you in the US, you guys have a wonderful 250th anniversary of this beautiful country of ours. Hope you're going to enjoy lots of pizza and other kinds of pizza as
And
well.
USA is playing it in 15 minutes on
Oh, great.
yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit rigged. They got the U.S. easy games to get them into the 4th of July holiday, playing the first game of the weekend. So this is good television. The FIFA does good television. It looks like
Well,
it's
I
real,
don't know.
but it's
The
really a soap
Mexico game,
opera.
the Mexico game last night was fun.
Yeah, it's great.
I was loving them winning.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, it's lots of fun. Lots of fun. It was
I hope you support Argentina on Friday.
okay. Argentina on Friday. Woohoo!
Champs.
I think Messi is showing he truly is one of the best on the planet. Because Ronaldo's not doing what Messi is doing. He's just killing it right now. It's so fun to watch this sport.
I
It's fun to
also
have in
just
the United
want,
States.
I'd also like to just give a big round of applause for Danixa, who is not just my friend, but my inspiration. She is, you're the best. You're just the best.
She's the best.
Back at
She's
you.
the best. And that's why I showed up today, just to tell you how great you
Yeah.
are.
She's not showing up for me, Danixa. She shows up for you. That's
Oh,
why
I do show up for you, Tim. In fact, I need to talk to you.
Oh, we need to talk.
Thank you, everybody.
I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the holiday. And
Yes, everybody,
take some
stay
time off.
safe, enjoy.